We'll start in a couple minutes. We're also talking about decisions that will affect human lives, depending on how the city is designed, if it's safe. We're talking about the need to adapt for serious things like climate change. And these are some things that are involved in decisions about city design and planning and tall buildings as well.
We're concerned about with tall buildings is the impact of gentrification on human beings and on the lives of vulnerable people who have really no place to go if they're pushed out of their own community by condo towers.
Oddly, single-family homes with a suite and a coach house, or which is the current zoning, are in fact more environmentally friendly than high-rise apartments, which are among the worst in the category of things we have here. Here's what Europe has, all right? And there's a reason they built so many of these, because if you go back to this graphic, the best examples of the lowest carbon footprint buildings are townhomes or apartment buildings, low-rise apartment buildings. They will always do better than a high-rise, and there are various reasons. Here's some buildings in the bright sun that are 6 stories tall, and again, this is a typology that works from an environmental footprint standpoint. These don't, and they don't for a variety of reasons. These things, these buildings have an R value of about 3, maybe 4 on a best day, all right? The average single-family home, which isn't the end-all be-all by any stretch, or the average townhome, is going to have an R value of about 20. These things are dinosaurs when it comes to anything, whether you believe in peak oil or just the higher prices of energy. These things are a disaster waiting to happen, and there's nothing you can do about them. You can't retrofit them. We're talking about eco-density here. We're talking about trying to live up to our carbon footprint. Well, this isn't the way to go.
We don't need to build another high-rise in Vancouver if we don't want to. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but we don't need to. With the existing zoning capacity and the community visions, which were approved by the communities, and modest low and mid-rise extensions on some of our arterials, we can provide for any reasonable increase in population projection for the next 40 to 50 years without building another high-rise of any size.
High-rise means high prices. It doesn't mean lower prices because of more units. And that means that working people as well as poor people are forced out. And working people will then move into the valley, which means more urban sprawl.
It's been said before that council is addicted to condos because not only do they get kickbacks to their political parties from the developers, but they also get money for every square foot of condo that's built in the city. So it's not, the change is not going to come from on high, the change is going to come from grassroots development, and it's necessary for people to gather together and make a stand against. We need to see all of these people in this room who wouldn't necessarily go to City Hall on a normal day, go there on the 20th, and put this site where there is so much human interest at stake, and put it forward and say we support this and we oppose the historic area height review and the condo towers plan.
Chinatown is not in good shape. Take a walk through Chinatown. It's a beautiful community, but it has a lot of closed storefronts, a lot of empty space upstairs, a lot of very old buildings, and the Chinese community has been unanimous, I don't see any spokespeople here tonight from there, that there needs to be action by the city to protect the quality of their community and help it evolve in a way they're comfortable with. We have not ignored the downtown east side. We have not ignored the appeal for housing above the library site. We have not ignored the need for fundamental change down there or the need to support provincial investment in social housing, which is finally starting to happen. And so this is another very, very difficult problem. We don't have a plan for condo towers down there, but we don't have a plan to say there will be no private sector development in the downtown east side either.
I'm from the UK, where they've had a town planning for a long, long time because they've got a lot of people living in a very much smaller area than we have. What I see here is development that seems to be driven by speculators and developers. There's not an overall plan.
No community should be impacted until they have a chance to have a community plan in place and refuse to be bulldozed by City Hall. And if they won't listen to us, as somebody pointed out, we go to the polls in November.
And we've got to stop this high-rise thing. And one more thing we have to stop is contributions from developers and unions to our city. We have to allow decisions to be made based on what's best for us, the citizens.
It feels like the 70s when we decided that we were not going to have highways. It has that feel. I feel encouraged, and I hope we can work together.
Thank you very much.